What I mean is that cost and worth are two different things. Let's talk Disney. As many of you have heard, Disney is once again raising its prices, and specifically I'm talking about Disney Genie Plus. Disney Genie Plus prices are becoming variable and going to vary according to, I don't know which way the weather is turning. If the wind is blowing this way, if the wind is blowing that way, basically Genie Plus may end up being a different price, to control crowds. And it basically seems like Disney is just increasing their prices every other day. Hotel prices are, to be honest, ridiculous. This is not, oh, if you can't afford it, don't go. What I mean is that cost and worth are two different things. If you take into account the fact that you don't actually have to buy Genie Plus or Disney tickets to go to Maui, just airfare and the hotel, actually Maui is cheaper, and cost and worth are two different things. And actually the prices of many of the Disney hotels are comparable with some of the most deluxe resorts in Maui, including the Waldorf Astoria, the Grand Wailea at Maui. And if you look up that hotel, it's a little bit different than Disney in the Swamp. At the end of the day, we're not talking just cost. It's that cost and worth are two different things. And at the end of the day, Disney is the swamp. It's a concrete-filled swamp. It's not Maui. And yes, there is wildlife, because actually the last time that I was staying at Port Orleans Riverside, there was like a animal attendant who had to come because the housekeeping saw something, and he like chased around something that was in the bush with a garbage bag or something. And then finally he looked like he kind of like mini tackled something that was pretty small. So I don't think it was a snake, because by the way he was like getting it, it didn't really seem like it was a snake. It seemed like it was something else. And I was like calling out to him, I'm like, what is it? He's like, I can confirm it's wildlife, but I can't tell you what it is. It's like, well, you're not really using a tong like that you kind of like use sometimes with snakes. So I'm guessing it was maybe like a baby alligator. That's my theory. Specifically talking the buffets, the cost of Disney food is absolutely ridiculous. And again, the quality is crap. So buffets and everything. I mean, if you got a party with you, like 6-7 people with you, imagine the amount of money that you're spending on each meal, and in reality it's crap. And also the quality of Disney food, it doesn't make a mosquito that's biting me, hence the swamp, because I live in Miami. The food in Disney also is crap, and we could get into that in a whole other video, but in reality you're not exactly eating healthy. You're eating salt and more salt and sugar and salt. And but even when occasionally a Disney content creator or a theme park content creator tends to criticize or make a critical video on Disney, it's always with justification. It's like, yeah, this is happening, but yeah, this is happening, but it's always like, yeah, the prices are increasing. I heard this recently, but Disney knows best. And yeah, the prices are getting really high, but well, who am I to judge? Disney knows what's best. It's like there's always like a quick justification, a quick like diversion into talking about something else. And they just take it to a real level of like not being like authentic. Like there's even like Disney content creators out there, because I'm familiar with watching a lot of them, because I would watch a lot of them, especially when I was really looking forward to going to Disney before I had a lot of bad experiences. And a lot of them were actually very mistreated during the pandemic. I've overheard a lot of their stories and their vlogs, where one of them, for example, had a family member that was fired during the pandemic, and then when they finally brought them back Disney, they brought them back in a very low role that was very below them, because they had college experience and everything, and they made them a janitor. And yet this person is still fangirling, in a sense, over Disney executives and how wonderful Disney is, when in reality they treated your family members pretty badly and made them a janitor, and they lost their job, and the Disney executives are getting paid a little bit more than a janitor's salary. And to be blunt, if Disney prides itself on a family model, and we're not just talking about like low income, middle income, or even like middle high income, or all these different brackets, the reality is that Disney has like kind of outpriced everyone. I mean, I know very, very, very wealthy people, and we're talking very, very wealthy people, and they would not spend the prices at Disney. They would tell you they have the money for it. Let's be clear, they have the money, but they would tell you that it's not worth that, and I don't spend my money that way. And they'll go to Italy, they'll do that, they'll rent, I was gonna say rent a yacht. They'll take their yacht to Italy, but they're not going to spend that type of money, because they'll tell you it's a waste of time. But yeah, if they're so family oriented, then why are they outpricing everyone who can go to Disney? In reality, the people who end up going to Disney, they're charging up their credit cards. How do you think they're going? They're charging up 5, 6 credit cards to take their blue collar family to Disney World because the kid is screaming that they want to go to Disney World. Yeah, they've outpriced everyone. If they're so family oriented, why do we have it where no one can afford to go to Disney? You know how many times I've gone on the website in the past and I cannot book a 1 or 2 night stay at a time because they want you to go for 2 weeks at a time. In the past, I could always do that. I could do that with Universal, book 1 or 2 nights at a time, but not at Disney. With Universal, I am pleasantly surprised that their hotels are very reasonably priced. I'm very surprised, to be quite honest, that a lot of their hotels are not priced higher, such as the Aventura and the Cabana Bay. I would expect their prices to be much higher than they are. And there are many times during the year that their premier hotels are priced at the economic hotel rates of Disney World. And there's always times at Universal where if you go on the site pretty much at any time, you could get a 1 or 2 night stay, immediately, and they don't like force you or want you to do like 2-week stays or anything like that. So I am very, very excited to go to Universal Studios. I really think that it's more the place for me. I mean, anyone who does a drop of research would say that Universal is more for young people and millennials, and Disney has become kind of a weird place. It's not appealing. It's not appealing to go there and waste a disproportionate amount of money. And again, my point with this conversation of the price is going up at Disney is cost and worth are two different things. Cost and worth are two different things. You could have people that spend $2,000 a night in Maui and they will tell you that it was worth it because it's Maui. But you can't really justify that for the swamp. The swamp's not Maui. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm always going to tell you my honest opinions on things, and I'm not going to sugarcoat things. And I'm probably going to get a lot more blunt, a lot more honest. I'm going to tell you when I like things and when I don't, and hopefully you guys can appreciate the honesty. So if you guys like this type of content, please stay tuned, subscribe and like. And I'm going to be doing a ton of Universal vlogs. I live in Miami. Oh my God, what is it at B? Oh my God, what is happening? Yeah, okay. So I live in Miami. I'm going to be going back and forth a lot to Universal, and who knows, maybe I will be up there on a long-term basis. Universal sounds like the new place for me. So if you're interested in seeing a lot of Universal vlogs, and I mean a lot of Universal vlogs and live streams, then stay tuned and subscribe and like. So thank you and bye.